everyone, for OneWrestling.com. This is Bill Apter. Welcome to another Apter Chat, face-to-face. And as you know, you've seen me tweet and Facebook and report on the fact that there are name issues going on in professional wrestling, sports entertainment. Big E Langston no longer has a last name. He's now just Big E. Antonio Cesaro no longer has a first name. He's just Cesaro. So right now we have a guy who I think is only one name. There's no name before it or name after it, at least that we know of right now. And his name is Crimson. Welcome to the Apter Chat.
Hey, thanks for having me, Bill. A pleasure to be here.
Well, it's great to see you. The fans have been sending in emails regarding people that they want to see here on the Apter Chat, and then we got several requests. Hey, whatever happened to Crimson? Why haven't you had Crimson on the Apter Chat? So, coincidentally, I got a press release a few days ago from World Premier Wrestling, and they're going to be running a big show March 8th at the new World Resort Casino in Queens, New York. And by the way, that was the site of the old Aqueduct racetrack. It's a great place. I've been to the casino. But I was looking down the list of names, and your name was on their roster, that you will be appearing there. And so what we wanted to do, of course, is I guess it's karma that we get the press release and fans asking for you at the same time. What have you been doing since you left TNA?
Well, since I left TNA, back in September, I had knee surgery. I had to get my ACL completely reconstructed and my meniscus shaved down. I was dealing with knee injuries for most of my TNA career.
Which was how long? That was close to 2 years there?
3.
3 years, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Close to 3 years. And, you know, being from the military, unless you have a loss of life, limb, or eyesight, you know, you embrace the suck and you continue the mission. So that's essentially what I did in TNA. I wrapped up my knee with using a roll of tape and kept moving. But since I left TNA, I figured that was a time for me to disappear for a while, go off the grid, and kind of heal my injuries so I can come back bigger, faster, stronger, and hopefully make some waves.
So
again.
I want to talk to you about TNA, but you mentioned something about the military, and you and I have talked in the past. You were a military person, weren't you?
Yeah, that's right. 5 years I spent in the U.S. Army, stationed at Fort Campbell, home of the 101st Airborne Division.
Yeah.
I deployed twice to Iraq, so I got a lot of life experiences, you could say.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And did anything that you learned in the military actually translate into something that you used in the pro wrestling business?
Absolutely. And the biggest thing is adapting and overcoming. And that's one thing that's taught and it's drilled into your head in the military. You must adapt to your surroundings and overcome the odds, whatever's thrown at you. And when I got signed to TNA, let's just say I was thrown out there, and it's either sink or swim. So it was adapt and overcome, or, you know, disappear and get eaten up. So I think that was the most important thing that was taught to me: adapting to your surroundings, overcoming, and just driving on. So I think that was the biggest. Okay.
All right. Now going back to, we're talking TNA, you had a great run there, as you mentioned, near 3 years. And if you could pick one guy, and I think I know who this guy would be. I could probably answer this for you, but I want to hear it from your mouth. The guy that really took you to your limit, because you had a streak of, let me check my notes here, of 470 days undefeated. So is there one guy in TNA that you felt might have cut that almost in half?
Yeah, and I'll tell you the first name to come to my mind, and you might be thinking the same person: Samoa Joe.
That's the guy. You had a long feud with him.
Oh yeah, we've been in the ring together so many times. I can't even count. And Samoa Joe is by far the toughest person I've ever had to fight, I've ever been in the ring with, I've ever come in encounter with. And like we've just touched on, I've been to Iraq twice.
Yeah.
Not even those guys over there I was fighting were as tough as Samoa Joe.
Is that right?
By far the best challenge I had while in TNA
was from Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
so now that you've you've left TNA. You're going through some physical rehab. You're working for World Premier Wrestling. Let's take a look into a different crystal ball here. You, I assume you still follow wrestling on TV?
Absolutely, yeah.
And WWE, of course, is in everybody's eyesight. So if you could pick, if they called you tomorrow and said, Crimson, we have an open contract with anybody you want to wrestle, who would that guy be and why?
Well, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I have two in mind. First one being John Cena. John Cena, face of WWE. He's the man there. He's been the man for the past, 10 years?
Yeah.
So if you were to make an impact just going into WWE, he'd be the guy that I'd want to challenge.
Okay.
My second one would be Orton. By far one of the best in ring, out of the ring. I mean, he's just a superstar. You're just looking at him and just watching him work in the ring. And I think
the tattoos have nothing to do with it.
No, I mean, we're both tatted up. So
I know, that's why I mentioned that.
Similarities there, but I just really enjoy watching him. He's so smooth, he's so fluent, and he's so good. He's so precise, and I think I can get in there and have a good, tear it up with him, have a good match.
Okay. Is there anyone in TNA you did not get to wrestle against that you wanted to?
Yeah, there's a couple. One being Sting.
Yeah.
A couple of the young guys got to get in the ring with Sting, and unfortunately, I wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have been in the ring with Sting. I mean, he's a legend. He's the icon. Other than that, I pretty much got in the ring with
everybody. Yeah, yeah. What is it about Sting, beside him? His whole career and the iconic things that he's done. Have you culled anything from him? Have you learned from watching him?
A lot of what I learned from Sting was backstage, behind the scenes.
Okay.
He is a leader. He was a leader of the team, and he always had some advice for the young guys. And I would go seek him out and ask him, for some advice. So it wasn't really a matter of just picking anything specific up from him. It was just a matter of getting advice from him, which he always had. Everything he's ever told me always worked and paid off.
Yeah, yeah, he's a great guy. He's always willing to help people out.
And that's the thing too. He's humble. He's a great guy, down to earth. He's not one of those guys in the locker room that will snub the young guys or not give you the time of day. He's so willing to help and make the whole company better.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We're going to rewind again and go back to the tattoos. How many tattoos do you have?
Oh, too many.
So what I always want to ask people that are totally tattooed. Yeah, look at that. I mean, would you hold one up to the camera? Yeah, look. Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, actually, if you can see that, it's my son's name and birthday, Mason.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That's great. That's good. Now, what makes you want to be tattooed? I've got to ask you that.
I think it was just a way to express myself, and I started getting tattoos when I was 18, and to me, it was just doing something different.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted. It's a great art. It's an art form, and if you have the right tattoos and the right artist to actually do the tattoos, it could look beautiful and it could look good. I started getting them just when I was 18, and at the time it was a cool thing to do.
Well, I heard a rumor that had your 470 days undefeated gone to 500, you were going to tattoo TNA on your forehead.
That's right. That's the last space I left open.
We don't want to go there. We don't want to go there. So before we wrap up, the indie scene is well and very healthy and very alive, and I know a lot of the promoters are grasping at signing you. At this point, World Premier Wrestling, again, March 8th, is running at the World Resort Casino. We're not sure who at interview time here on the Apter Chat. We don't know who your opponent is going to be, but does it matter?
It really doesn't matter, and it's going to be a huge event. I mean, you saw the card. The card's out there. Just so many stars on that card. It doesn't matter who I'm going to get in the ring with.
Roddy Piper is going to be there. But I don't think he would agree to wrestle you at this point.
Yeah, I'd hope not for his sake. But no, it doesn't matter. I'm just honored to be there, and whatever I do, whoever I'm in there with, it's just going to be epic because this is officially my first match back after knee surgery. So I'm going to be coming in there, and I'm going to be hurting some people. It's going to be a good one.
Okay, Crimson, want to thank you so much for being here at the Apter Chat. We will look forward to seeing how your career progresses at World Premier Wrestling, and as we always say, if you wouldn't mind putting your finger right into the camera there, yep, that finger, and we'll see you at the matches.